Facebook right now is the Mississippi Mud video. Very excited about this. Can you give me a little bit of a story about Mississippi Mud? This is your first single. Tell us a little about it.
It's almost inexplainable what the buzz that's going on with it right now. I did not expect, it to be the level that it's at this quick. The person doing this filming this interview today, Mr. Walter Camacho from Casanueva Films, is the guy who did Mississippi Mud.
And he did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, and the thing is one thing, I lead the band, I started the band, I own the band, I'm the founder, whatever you want to call it. It's a democracy when it comes to the band. You know what I mean? But I run it with an iron fist, designated something, we'll just say. That's not what I've been called. But no, the thing is with the video is Walter's, that's what he does for a living. He produces music videos and he makes videos. So I wasn't gonna be the one that was gonna influence the video. My forte is running with the band right now and the lead singer. So, like when we went to Nashville, I produced most of our songs on our EP. The 3 songs on our EP, I pretty much produced it. And the band was kind of involved with me, you know what I mean? But, it was me that was running things at the time. And I knew that if going to Nashville, working with a legend like Johnny Neal, I had to sit back. Johnny was the producer on this. And I had to just really get the mindset when I went out there. I hired Johnny to do the producing job.
And this is a big change for you because you are always the orchestrator of everything. You are always in so much control. So how was that to take that step back and give somebody else?
It was actually like
a little weight off the shoulders.
Yeah,
there,
weight
right?
off the shoulders. It was great because Dave Yerson, our guitar player, he came in a couple of days later because he had work to do before he came down to Nashville. And he walks in, first hour, he's, just taking things in. And he looks at me, he goes, "You okay, man?" I'm like, "Yeah, why?" He goes, "He's just too quiet. It's like something's wrong." I says, "Oh no, I'm just sitting here, relaxing, really enjoying somebody else whipping you guys around, telling you what to do, and I don't have nothing to do with it." So the video was the same thing I wanted to do. None of the band members had anything to do with the editing, putting it together. Neither did I. Because everybody's gonna, my thing is if you listen to everybody's always gonna have something they want.
Sure.
Or not enough of me in there, or it doesn't, or just say this. No matter what, you can make 10 videos and somebody's gonna pick it apart anyways.
Absolutely.
So I just wanted Walter to go with his vision, and he did an amazing job, and to have 30,000 views in only 2 weeks from a band that's just out of Connecticut. We play all over New England and as far as Canada. But the thing is it's not like we're household names anywhere outside of Connecticut. Maybe a little bit in the Western Mass, some places in Rhode Island, but outside of that, we're not nationally known here throughout the United States. So to have that kind of views in such a short time.
Yeah, it says a lot. So everybody knows you as Biker Mike in the community, and obviously you're the front man of this band and you're the face, but there's some other great guys in this band. Tell me a little bit about each guy.
Yeah, out of the band right now, I went to a couple other guys' faces that were in the band as well, but the lineup right now, the first guy to come in that is still part of the band today, we'll go into history of the band, was Mr. Dale Quinnell, our drummer.
Great guy.
Just an amazing, hardworking guy, a Marine. God bless every veteran out there and stuff like that. But to have a Marine in the band, to have a veteran in the band, really means a lot to me because it gives a little more integrity to the veterans. Because we do shows for them. He's just an amazing drummer. Are these guys Stevie Vais and Billy Sheehan's out there? No, there's no guy that really stands out as a musician-wise in the band, but the chemistry. Like Dale's not the best drummer in the world, but he's a very, very good drummer.
He's a great drummer.
Exactly,
Absolutely.
yeah. And the chemistry that we have is what makes Dale the best drummer for this band.
Absolutely.
Is he the best for this band? Absolutely. We got Mr. Dave Yerson into the band. He's been with us for just about 3.5 years now.
Okay.
And Dave came off the original Southern rock scene in Jacksonville, Florida,
Oh, no kidding.
where his warehouse, his practice warehouse, rehearsal space was right next door to Molly Hatchet's.
Oh, no kidding. So you do have a little connection to those Southern roots.
Yes, because
Yeah.
Dave actually played with Dave Lubeck,
Oh, no
rest in
kidding.
peace.
Huh.
Just passed away recently from Molly Hatchet. He is the founding member. And then he's played with Ricky Madlock of Blackfoot in Jacksonville.
No kidding.
You know, so yes, there is a Southern roots
Right.
background, Southern rock roots background in there. And you know, Dave is the top Southern rock guitarist here in New England, no doubt. And he's one of the top 5 guitarists come out of Connecticut. You know, and then we have John Philbin, who was our newest member. He replaced our old bass player, Mr. J.R. Roberts, who was with us for 5 years. And I will give him an honorable mention because J.R.,
Great guy.
you know, played with us for 5 years. And, you know, as much as we butted heads, we're still friends today. We just can't work together. But as my brother, he will always be my brother. But Mr. Johnny Philbin came in, and this guy wanted this job so bad. It wasn't just a cover band to him. It wasn't just a local act. He really saw this band as what it's going to become, a national act.
Great.
And I truly believe that. Well, Johnny felt the same way, and he wanted into this band. And I'll never forget when he came in for his first audition, he was so prepared. And we had 4 of the bass players lined up. And after his 5th song, the guy who I'm going to introduce next, Mr. Timothy Britt, went over to him and he said, "Welcome to the band."
Oh, really? So you guys knew.
I
that
didn't
way.
even know Timmy was going to do that, but we all knew. We were all looking at each other the whole time going, "Yeah, this is the guy.
This
the
is
guy."
it. Yeah.
But he went over and John, he yelled a loud yell that made my hair curl. And I don't have much hair, but you know what I mean? But it made my hair curl. I mean, the guy was just so legitimately happy to be in the band, and it came through in that expression of, yeah, you know, I made the band. It was just incredible, you know, that he really wanted to be in just this local band. So I knew that at that point, I had made the right decision by replacing JR at the time, you know what I mean? But then Timothy Britt, as we were saying earlier, you know, this guy, every show, when I introduced Timothy Britt, because I toot everybody in the band, you know what I mean? But when I introduced Timothy Britt as God's gift to music, the guy, I knew I was my golden ticket to make it in the business. He is a professor of music theory. He knows a lot about music, but Timmy, music is an extension of him. It's his soul. It's part of him. It's just what makes Timothy Britt. You know what I mean? And there's no way to explain a guy like that.
Right.
He's just an anomaly in the business.
Right.
You know what I mean? And together, my drive, his talent, music skills, his playing skills, you know, my business skills, together, you know, I'm not trying to compare myself to Lennon and McCartney or Tyler and Perry, you know, but together we are Tyler and Perry. Together we are Lennon and McCartney. This fate brought us together. And break me and Timothy Britt up, that's the end of the Screamin Eagle Band. You know what I mean? The Screamin Eagle Band is, the music is Britt and Turgeon. You know, and that's what brought this band to where it's at. Collectively as a band on the road, Screamin Eagle Band, there's not one member that's less important than the other. Because if you go back to the Danny Joe Brown day with Molly Hatchet, you know, as much as Danny Joe Brown was the face of the band, and once he went out on his own, and I'm not saying this to disrespect any Molly Hatchet member or Danny Joe Brown, it's just my opinion, that when Danny Joe Brown left the band because everybody said he could do it without them, and he was the face of the band, he was better than them. People behind the scenes trying to make money off Danny Joe Brown. Well, when he left the band, that chemistry didn't have it with the Danny Joe Brown band. They were good, but it was not the chemistry that Molly Hatchet was. And that's what this band has. It has a chemistry, and each and every guy is important to that chemistry. You know, and a couple of the members, not all of them could be here for this today. They all have full-time jobs. We all work full-time, and pretty much donate all our free time to the band, because I mean, our wives and girlfriends, we see each other more than we see them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So these guys give up a lot, but you know, some things, you know, I mean, look, when we're out playing, you better be there. An interview, you know, I mean, not that it's less important not to have them here, but you know, some of the guys, they just couldn't be here today.
Absolutely. So who will be here today?
Timothy Britt is here today.
Fantastic.
So we're going to bring him into this interview.
Wonderful. Welcome, Timothy Britt. Thank you for being here today.
Glad to be here. It's awesome.
So you are a member of the Screamin Eagle band. How long have you been a member, and can you tell us a little bit about your background?
I've been in the band 4 years, pretty much to the day, since I first showed up for the first audition of
Great.
sorts.
Nice.
Pretty much.
And so tell us a little bit about your background and, you know, what led you to Screamin Eagle band.
Prior to being in the band an awful long time ago, I was just in high school, and I got approached by a guy. His name was Donnie Mazza, and a renowned blues player that had played with Johnny Winter, and we used to get asked by Johnny Winter's management and Johnny Winter to open up for them. So Johnny Winter's a renowned guitar player. He played at Woodstock. He was friends with Jimi Hendrix. He played at the original Woodstock when there was 500,000 people there, and went on to a whole, you know, renowned career of all the albums and things that he did. Then after that, went on to try to do my own thing. Kind of got into the whole Stone Temple Pilots, Alice in Chains, which, by the way, Mike is very capable of singing that type of music if he wants.
That's how I got started.
And we got looked at by Atlantic Records, Virgin Records. Didn't quite get the golden nugget, but we were close. We had letters from Jimmy Einer, president of Virgin Records. We were getting a lot of interest, and then did a self-produced album, and met Mike through a mutual friend who was a member of the band Tommy and the Rivieras. They're Connecticut's longest running rock and roll band. They've been around for over 50 years, and they were the band that opened up for the Doors the night Jim Morrison got arrested in New Haven. And you can see more on that by watching a movie called The Doors that was in theaters. So I was a member of that band for a while, and through that mutual friend, Mark Fisk, lead singer, Mike and Mark are, you know, construction guys, and they can throw a hammer, and introduced me to Mike, or gave me the chance to give him a call. So Mike had mentioned, I asked him about, hey, might you be interested in doing some original music? And understandably, Mike was like, I don't know, because to be honest with you, you know, I don't think I'm going on a limb, but there's been plenty of times when people go to see a cover band and they say, we're going to do an original song.
And the crowd crashes.
And they'll, well, let's go out and have a cigarette, is what I've seen quite often. Because so we've test marketed our material. So we put, for instance, the first single, Mississippi Mud, we had Sweet Home Alabama, which is an unbelievable tune, legendary. We put Mississippi Mud right after that, and then we followed it with Gimme 3 Steps. We test marketed to see, was it gonna, you know, were people gonna like it? Because the people decide.
Right.
The people are the show, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, so talk to me a little bit about Mississippi Mud. You actually wrote this song.
I wrote it, and Mike had a lot of input on that. He arranged it, did some things that he wanted to have happen in the tune. And it's really just, you know, the way I see it is, you know, be yourself. Because people can absolutely tell if you're not being yourself. You know, if you're just putting it on. And, you know, we had mentioned Molly Hatchet. There was a point when all this 80s metal was happening, and the hair bands, and Hatchet was not part of that. And later on in their career, towards the end, they got a bunch of keyboards, and they came out with an album that really didn't sound like a Molly Hatchet album to me. It was later on. It sounded like an 80s keyboard album.
Okay, so we've talked a lot about the past, we've talked about the history, and we talked a little bit about where you are now. But let's talk a little bit about the future. Where do you see Screamin Eagle Band going?
We got this album coming out. Of course, we're going to be, pushing this album by touring and playing tons of shows. And we're already on our way to writing new tunes. We got 3 tunes in the pocket already for the next album. And I hope someday we can do a live album. Wouldn't that be cool?
It would be awesome.
Love that.
You know, the
idea.
sky's the limit for this band. Absolutely. I mean, now we are getting contacts with some pretty important individuals. We're on the verge of signing a contract with a management company that has been around for a long time. And it's a gentleman's handshake now. We'll put it out in the video right now until the announcement has been made. But, we are going on tour with a all-star band of members made up of a lot of the old Southern rock bands.
Fantastic.
And stuff like that. So, I mean, and just the fact that we worked with Johnny Neal. 2018, we got shows coming up with Johnny here in Connecticut. We already got 3 dates booked
Wow.
with Johnny Neal. And we're hoping that we get into Maine, New Hampshire, New Jersey, everywhere we can, and, so there's nowhere but up with this band, with what's going on. And I'm not stopping until I become a household name. Screamin Eagle Band is going to become a household name. And I believe it. And I always have from the day that we started doing original music. I knew with Timothy Britt, with his writing skills and his teaching me how to lyrically get better as a lyricist, and producing, I had a natural ability to help produce the songs to begin with because of the fans here. I try to make music what the fans would want to hear, not what other musicians want to hear, because other musicians don't buy your album.
Right.
You get respect from them if they like what you're doing, but it's the other musicians' opinions on what I'm going to do. There's always going to be one that is going to tell me, well, that's not what I would do. Well, something, we're not making it for you.
Right.
We're making it for the people, for our fans, and we're not for everyone. You know what I mean? That's a given, but we will be a household name throughout the United States and Europe and the world one of these days.
And I want to thank you, Michael Turgeon, Timothy Britt, Screamin Eagle Band, for being here today. It's been great to talk to you.
To everyone that took the time to watch this EPK package, promo video, whatever you would like to call it, we want to thank you. And if hopefully it gave you a little more insight about the band, helped you know more about the band, and to any business out there and any venue that would like to hire the band, hopefully you enjoyed the video as well and it helps sell us to you guys. You can get a hold of me, Mike Turgeon, at 860-335-8051. Please go to our website. We have videos on our website. We also have some music that you can listen to. Very important, informative site. Screamin without the G, ScreaminEagleBand.com. Check us out on Facebook. We are on Twitter. We are on Instagram. Thank you for your time. God bless everyone.